Namaste, everyone. Welcome to another Tuesday. I'm very excited to be able to share today. It's been a really strange month. Usually June is the month that I'm hopping and I'm running around and I am sharing with different schools and different organizations, and it's been really still. There's been a lot of stillness this month, which has really given me the opportunity to reflect on, priorities and things that are going on. Yesterday was my first day that it almost felt like a normal day because I was just rushing between different things. I had a recording in the morning and I was on a Zoom call, and then I had another recording, and it was all of these things that I was doing, and I was like, oh, this was my life before. It was just go and go and go. And now to kind of sit back and reflect on it and see exactly how tired I was at the end of the day, but at the same time I couldn't sleep because I was so excited of all the things that I had done, and that was my normal for the longest time. And it really gave me the opportunity to appreciate that stillness that we've had and that we continue to have, and that shift into the way that we really appreciate our home, the way that we appreciate our family and our friends a lot more. And so I was kind of thankful and humbled. Yes, I do miss that ability to be everywhere all at once, but I do appreciate the time to spend with my family and with friends, so that's been wonderful. So this weekend is National Indigenous Day. It used to be Aboriginal Awareness Day, and then it was just Aboriginal Day, and then it was Indigenous Awareness Day, and now I think officially it's Indigenous National Indigenous Day. So it's a day that gives us the opportunity to really honor and give thanks for the history of all of these lands. So across Turtle Island, we have so much rich history and deep ties to the language and deep ties to the land and to our stories and our songs and all of these really beautiful things that I think for the longest time, when we weren't able to share those things, when we weren't able to share our ceremony and those gifts and those stories and those teachings, it was a big piece that was missing of the puzzle in what we call Canada or Turtle Island, because it really allowed us to really reflect on what was important. And within the treaties, it was really about sharing. It was really about understanding and having compassion for each other. And the easiest way to have compassion for each other is to learn about our stories and our culture and our ceremonies. It's to be invited in. It's to share food and, let our kids play together and just have a really beautiful, wonderful time. And that's really what the solstice was all about. It was about welcoming the longest day of the year. And so everywhere around the world, there are solstice ceremonies in different Indigenous nations around the world. Everyone has a solstice ceremony. It's our way to give thanks for the sun, to give thanks for the summer, to give thanks for that awakening that's within each and every one of us, the connection that we have to each other, the connection that we have to the earth, the connection that we have to the sun, and just that growth that continues because of that sun. It's our opportunity to really, that's the last opportunity we have to sow the seeds for the season to come, for all of those things to grow. And so it's really a gift. It teaches us about really honoring, that pulse, that rhythm that all of the seasons have, that all of nature has, that we have, and really celebrate the fact that we have come full circle around the sun again. And so this National Indigenous Day gives us the opportunity to really honor, all of those ceremonies and celebrations that will be happening across the world, or, our own personal ceremonies, even just taking a breath and looking up at the sun and thinking how incredible it is that we have made it around the sun for another year. It's just such a gift. And so just to start today, of course, in a good way, I'd like to acknowledge the land upon which we stand. So I am here in Mohenstis, which is in Calgary, Treaty 7 territory, and I honor the people of this land. I honor the Blackfoot of Siksika, Kainai, and Pagani. I honor the Sarsi from Tsutsuna and the Stoney Nakoda from Morley, which includes Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. I honor all of those families and all of those people who have just kept those stories alive and kept the language alive and kept the history of this land alive and thriving. It's amazing when you hear those stories, just how they can relate so much to what you're going through in the different parts of your lives. And I think that's really the power in storytelling, and that's the power of really listening and reflecting on that history. It's really about honoring everything that's led us to this point, but it's also about leading our future generations by example. And so when we acknowledge the land, that's what we're doing. We're acknowledging that history. We're also acknowledging the responsibility that we have to our future generations, that responsibility that we have to the generations that came before us, so that we can listen to their knowledge and not repeat their same mistakes, but continue to move forward. Because, of course, you can't move backwards. You can only move forwards. And so when we do the land acknowledgement, that's truly what we're doing. And we're also acknowledging the relationship that we have with each other. My nation is Muskeg Lake in Saskatchewan. So I'm not from here originally, but this has become my home, and I've created community here. I've created, friends that they feel like they're my family. They are my family, and our family who is here. And there's something very special about Mohkinstsis, about this place. Mohkinstsis means elbow. So if you ever I know a Blackfoot word, Mohkinstsis. And it's where the Bow River and the Elbow River have come together. And there's something really powerful about two rivers colliding. It brings energy, it brings people together. Water in general will bring people together because it's our opportunity to, we need water. We need water to live, to survive, to grow. There's something about flowing water that is just cleansing, it's healing. And here in Mohkinstsis, you can feel how that movement, it's that constant healing, it's that constant growth. Every city has a different energy. Every city has a different effect on people. And some people, Mohkinstsis it's their jam. Here, Mohkinstsis is my home. It's my jam. When I was in Edmonton, very different energy there. They do have a river, but it's a single river, and the way that it flows, it didn't work with my energy. It was my city of learning. It was to really teach me how strong I was. And every city teaches us different things. Every place and every nation teaches us different things, and so it's really important to understand that those cities, before they were there were traditions on those lands. There were ceremonies that took place for thousands of years before on those lands. And that's what that energy is holding there. And so this is why we have these different feelings in these different places. It's because the place itself is sacred. The land itself is sacred. It's not about what's on top, but it's about what's the core of it and what the essence is. And so just to welcome everyone to the circle today, I'd like to share the Cree Welcome Song. Traditionally, when we sing songs, we sing in rounds of 4, down to the 4 directions of the medicine wheel. But this song is a little different. We actually sing it in rounds of 3. And that's to keep the circle open and welcoming so everyone completes the circle today. Because in a circle, we're all connected. There's no beginning, there's no end. No one is greater or less than anyone else in the circle, just like in the hoop of life. So it teaches us to honor each other for those differences. Again, because if we were all exactly the same, the world would be incredibly boring and nothing would ever get done. And just to quote my son earlier, there's no such thing as normal. Because honestly, who wants to be normal? Normal is boring. So it's really about expressing yourself and honoring yourself, but honoring everyone else for what they bring to the table. And that's truly what this song is about. It's about welcoming everybody into the circle. I know sometimes we have differences of opinions, but it's when we can come together and learn from each other and compromise. That's truly what makes our community resilient and what makes our circle resilient. And so that's what this song honors. This song is from the Nantahau family, from Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation, and I honor that family every time I sing this song. It reminds us how special these songs are, because for many generations it was illegal to speak our languages, to share our stories, to share our songs, to wear regalia. And I was talking about my ribbon skirt the other day, and our regalia, it's not a costume, because costumes are for Halloween, and honestly I'll probably be a Star Wars character for Halloween, but it's the essence of who we are. Our regalia tells a story of our family, it tells a story of our history, it tells a story of our beliefs, of the things that we want to share about ourselves outward. It's the essence of who we are. It's our very being. It's the core of who we are. And it's a blessing and a gift to be able to wear those things and to be able to share those things in a good way, in a meaningful way, whether we be dancing or whether we be singing and drumming and wearing our regalia that way. Our regalia is the way that we can express ourselves, and it brings people a little closer to who we are in our spirit. And to think that we weren't allowed to wear those things for so long, it's a little heartbreaking. But the fact that those teachings have remained the fact that we still have our same stories and our wisdom and our songs and our drums and our artifacts and our regalia. It shows exactly how resilient a people can be. And so when we sing this song, we honor the resilience of our circle, the resilience of our families, the resilience of our ancestors for keeping these songs and stories alive, and then at the Ha family for maintaining that tradition. And Mia Sin, which is the Cree welcome song, it doesn't just mean welcome, it also means beautiful. I'm going to stand up to sing. Mia Sin, Mia Sin, Hasemina, Hasemina, Epetakote, Iwagomagan, Ota, Woma, Kitaskino, Mia Sin, Mia Sen, Hasemina, Hasemina, Epetakote, Iwagomagan, Ota, Woma, Kitaskino, Mia Sin, Mia Sen, Hasemina, Hasemina, Epetakote, Iwagomagan, Ota, Woma, Kitaskino. Hi, and welcome to the circle today, everybody. So, of course, we're going to start with a smudge. It's just a beautiful way to ground and to get ourselves in the right place. It's a form of meditation. It's a prayer. It really is. And all a prayer is intention. It's setting intention. It's setting those wishes and the things that we need. It's asking for the things that we want in our lives. It's getting rid of the things that we don't. It's bringing in that healing. And I love it when science proves things we've done for thousands of years, because it actually cleans the air. So it actually gets rid of toxins like viruses, bacteria, fungus, anything that's in the air. pH balances the air, but it also ionizes the air, so it actually makes it healthier, much, much healthier for you to breathe. And so it's a really good thing if you're feeling a cold coming on. If I know that when I was working with like little kids, sometimes they would be I love you, and give me a big hug, and I'm like, oh, and I would smudge a lot afterwards, and it really did maintain my health. And so when we smudge, there's no right or wrong way to smudge. It's whatever feels great to you, whatever feels good to you. You want to be comfortable, because you never want to be uncomfortable when, you know, you're praying or you're wishing or you're setting that intention. You always want to be comfortable. You want to be in your spirit, in your being, and so your prayers are stronger because you're not focused on anything else around you. You want to be focused in that moment and what you're asking for. And so today we're going to be using sage, of course. So this sage is picked up on Nose Hill. I'm looking forward to going sage picking again soon. Normally I go, you know, just after solstice, because that's usually when the buds start coming out really, really good. And I actually haven't been up on Nose Hill yet to see kind of where we're at, but I'm hoping to be able to go and take a few people with me, just so that we can pray on the land, and we can feast up there, and we can drum and sing for the plants, and take some for our community and take some for ourselves, of course. We always pick in 2 bundles. A bundle that we're going to give away to the community or that's going to be used within the community, and then of course one for ourselves. I never pick enough, like ever, ever, ever. I use a lot of sage though, in all fairness. And so you'll notice I am pulling the sticks out. And so when we, the sticks, when we pull the leaves off, it holds our energy, it holds our intentions. And so we don't want to dictate how somebody's going to pray or how somebody's going to use the medicine. So out of respect to honor them, we leave the medicine on the stem for them to choose what to do with it. If they pass it on to another person, then at least it holds their energy and not yours. And so this is why we always leave it on the stem. Excellent. I'm going to talk a little bit about women's teachings today. So sage is considered, in my teachings, the women's medicine. Like I said earlier, it's not about right or wrong. It's different. It's what works for you. So you might talk to a Dene elder, you might talk to a Stony elder or a Blackwood elder or a Cree elder and knowledge keeper, and we all might have different ways of looking at the medicines, different ways of looking at the medicine wheel, different stories. But this is why you learn from multiple elders and multiple knowledge keepers throughout your life, because you find the things that you need in your life and the things that work for you, and those are what you use, because nobody can dictate how you live your life. You're the only one who has that responsibility and that ability. And so I'm just going to put these both together here. And so there's a lovely, lovely smudge ball. This is the Cree Crunch, and this is the Blackfoot Roll. If you're wondering what I was doing to prep that, it's so it burns a little bit more evenly, which is really, really lovely. Awesome. I'm going to just tilt this down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And so this is my smudge bowl, and in it we have all 4 directions. And so when we put the medicines in the bowl, that represents earth, because all of the medicines come from the earth. Even if it's the women's medicine that we're putting in, even though that medicine represents water, but as soon as it goes in the bowl, it belongs to the earth, because it will be returned to the earth in the ashes. The bowl itself is water. It's that women's medicine. It's what holds us. When we light it on fire, it's fire. That's our mind medicine. That's the men's medicine. And then the smoke going up to Creator, that's air. So that's our prayers. That's our spirit. And so it's just that essence of balance. Everything balances. We have all 4 directions in the smudge bowl. We have all 4 elements, all 4 parts of our being, all 4 parts of the year, even 4 parts of the day. So it's really about acknowledging that balance all around us. Awesome. And even though I'm not using all of my medicines, I always lay them out. So I lay my sweetgrass in the east for my mind, and that's for mental clarity, it's for new beginnings, it's for our children, and it's also the men's medicine, which is sweetgrass. We have in the south the cedar. That's our body medicine. It honors Mother Earth. It honors all of our relations, our plants, our animals, what sustains our bodies, and it honors our bodies as well. And so we have that in the south. In the west, we have, of course, sage being the women's medicine, and that's our connection to water. It's that reminder that every 28 days, Grandmother Moon, she controls the tide, so she pushes that water in and out, in and out. But she's also reflected in our body as women. We have 28 days in our moon cycle, just like she does. We have 13 moons in a year, just like she does. And it's that cleansing, it's that flowing of energy, that flowing of life that helps us to maintain, our community and ourselves as women. So we go through our own personal ceremony every month. So this is why sometimes people will say, well, don't touch other people's sweetgrass when you're on your moon time, because you're really, really strong, you're really powerful, and so that energy sometimes overwhelms other people's medicines, and you don't want to do that. This is why we don't go to mixed ceremonies either, because all of that energy wants to come to us, because we're all so open, because we're already going through a ceremony. So there's no need to go to 2 ceremonies. Why double up? You're already on a ceremony. And then the last medicine that we have is tobacco. I have a cute little tin of tobacco here. And tobacco is our spirit medicine. It's our connection to Creator. It's our connection to the air. It's our connection to all of creation, all of the spirits that are within each and every one of us. It reminds us of that stillness of the air and about faith, because we can't see spirit, but we know it exists, just like we can't see the air, but we breathe. And every time we breathe, that's a sacred breath. It's a sacred moment. It was the first breath that was ever released into the universe. We're breathing the same air that this planet has been living on for, billions upon billions of years. And so think about how sacred that breath is, that life is. And so we honor that with the north. And so we honor each of those directions. All right. Now we get to line it. And you might notice I took off my earrings. So some people choose to take off their jewelry when they smudge because metal oftentimes holds energy. But if it's something like your wedding ring, you can leave that on because that's part of you, or a brand new piercing, you can leave those on because those stay in. Or if it's something like your glasses, you can take off your glasses and smudge those. And so, all right. And there's no right or wrong way to smudge. It's whatever feels good to you. Lighting the bits. And you'll notice I fan it with my hand. I never blow on it because our breath is our life and our life is precious and we don't waste that for anybody. Okay. So the first thing I do is I clean my hands in it. So anything that I'm carrying I get rid of. I bring it over my body 4 times just to honor all 4 directions in my body. I smudge my mind so I can think clearly and so I can remain humble and have an open mind to learn all of those things that Creator sends me, all of the different messages. I smudge my ears so I can be open to hear all of the messages that Creator sends me. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so we can listen twice as much as we speak, and so we honor that. I honor my eyes so I can be open to see all of the beauty and creation around me. And I give thanks for my vision as well, both my internal and external vision. I smudge my nose so I can smell danger and cookies. I smudge my mouth so I can speak only true and kind words that are helpful. I always ask my kids, is it kind? Is it truthful? Is it helpful? Is it respectful? If it's none of those things, don't do it, don't say it. And so I honor good words and good things coming out of my mouth. I honor my throat and my voice. I'm very thankful for my voice this lifetime, so I can continue to give voice to the voiceless and speak out when we need to, because that's truly what a warrior is. It's someone who speaks out and stands up for what needs to happen with their community to make it a better place. I smudge my heart so I can remain kind and compassionate and show unconditional love to all of those people around me, friends, family, strangers, in the world. But also show kindness and compassion to myself, because I think we always forget to do that. We always forget to be kind to ourselves. We're kind of our own worst critic. Smudge my lungs so I breathe good, clean air. Smudge my stomach so all of the food that I eat this day will nourish my body. I smudge my womanhood because I'm very thankful to be a woman and a mother in this time. And then I smudge my shoulders and my back so I can carry all of the responsibilities that Creator's gifted me with grace and humility. I smudge my arms and my hands so I can continue to do the good work that Creator's put me here to do. Very thankful for the gifts that I've been gifted to continue on my path and to be able to share in a good way, and I'm thankful for my hands as an artist. I smudge my legs so I can continue to walk this red road in a good way and stand strong as the standing people do. And I smudge my feet so I can remain connected and honor Mother Earth with every step. And also so I can remain grounded. And then if there's anywhere else you need a little extra help, I've had multiple hip surgeries, so I always smudge my hips because they're always a little sore. I smudge my back and my neck. I got a new pillow and it's really messing with me. If there's anyone in your life that you know needs a little extra love, a little extra healing, just send them that love, send them that appreciation, and hold them in your heart and just pray for them that way. Send that intention to them that way. And then when you're all done, you can say, hi or miigwech or merci or grazia or xie or however you say thank you in your language, because it's really important to honor the language that you've come from. And so I'm going to see, do you want to smudge, honey? Do you want to smudge? Okay, come on over. All right. So I'm going to call over my kids to smudge, but also to see if they wanted to share the chickadee song.
Well, I mean, I know I don't want to because, like, the last time I did, you said that you were going to pay me and you still haven't.
I did.
Why?
You now check your account?
No. I can't check my account. I don't have my phone.
Oh, right. Sorry, I took that away. Well, you do. You have money in there. Girls, would you like to smudge? Yeah? Okay. Come on over. Don't mess with the cat. Just come and smudge. Awesome. I always think it's remarkable how we'll make a smudge ball and it'll last as long as is necessary. Sometimes you'll have to add a little bit more for extra prayers, but it's incredible how it just lasts the right amount of time. Yeah. Okay.
It's like, how do I do it again?
Just whatever feels good to you. Bring it to where you need it.
Okay.
Awesome. Does Chloe want to?
Yeah, she's coming. But
Awesome. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the chickadee song while Chloe's on her way. So the chickadee song, like I said, it teaches us that we have two ears and one mouth for a reason. And when this song had come through me, here you go, Chloe. I was actually, you don't want to smudge? Go ahead. So I was actually in a sweat lodge and I was asking for a song. And I kept hearing the chickadees outside the lodge. And the third round was so hot. It was incredibly hot. I'm used to sweating, my sweat's being really, really hot because I used to sweat in Arizona. And, hold on, okay, cool. When I used to sweat there, the heat didn't bug me, so I was just sitting in the sweat lodge as everybody kind of left, including the elder. And then these little chickadees started poking their heads in and out, and then this song kind of came to me. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is your song. This is really, it's about honoring that joyfulness that we have when we communicate with each other. It's about, oh, yes, absolutely, I can definitely do that. It's about honoring our voices. It's about honoring each other's voices and really paying attention and listening to each other. Because the chickadee, it will listen to each other. We'll hear the chickadees talking to each other. So you'll hear one chickadee go chickadee dee 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 dee, and then the other one go cheeseburger. So they actually have a conversation. They talk back and forth to each other. And sometimes I think we get so in our own heads that we forget that we have to listen to each other. If we want people to listen to us, we must listen to them first. It's about that reciprocal relationship that we have and how important it is for us to just take that time and really listen to each other deeply. And I think we're really starting to take that appreciation of hearing each other's voices and hearing each other speak and, you know, seeing each other face to face, that the chickadees really share with us. They appreciate each other, they appreciate each other's presence, and they support each other. At the end of the day, all birds will have conversations with each other and just share how their day went. And I think that's such an important aspect of any relationship. They've taught us how to have those relationships by having conversations, and so we honor the chickadee for that. And so I'm going to get the kids to come on over and we're going to do the chickadee song. So this song is it's a call and response song. And so the chickadee calls out, and then, of course, the chickadee friends will call back. All right, you guys ready? So grab your drums. Let's help this out so we can hear it. See everybody. Come on, Becky. All right. All right, whatever, girls. You guys can sing with me. It's just a call and response. It's nothing major. Inside your drum, sweetheart. Confer the drumstick. All right, come on in. All right. So the beat is nice and simple, and I'll sing happy oh ho ho. Happy oh ho ho.
Wait,
it's just a call and response.
Happy?
Yeah, don't worry. I'll just repeat after me, okay? All right, here we go. Happy oh ho ho. So this is the Voices song. I call it the shout out song. It's the ancestor song. So this song was shared from by elders Carrie Moore, and it's funny because I felt like I've heard this song before, and it's stuck with me. But it's really about finding your voice. And so the story behind this song is in our tribal days, traditionally women would go berry picking, and they would bring all the kids with them. All the two-spirit people would learn to go berry picking, but they would also learn to go hunting with the men. If you were a boy, once you turned 12, you were considered on your path to becoming a man, so you would go hunting with the men. But before that, you would be raised with the women. And the women were the ones who kept the community together. They were the ones who made all of the decisions. And even though they were in charge, they made sure nobody got left behind and that everybody was taken care of. And so it reminds us of that importance of letting everybody's voice be heard. And whether you be, the littlest kid or, the eldest within the nation, everyone's opinions and everyone's voices mattered and counted. And so it's really about finding your own voice and being able to let your voice out. And so at the end of the song, we let out our voice. And so the story behind the song is when everyone would go berry picking, the grandmothers would, of course, sit at the biggest bush, hanging out with the babies. And, of course, if anybody knows how babies explore the world, they put everything in their mouth. And so the grandmother would be like, don't eat that dirt, or spit out that rock, or don't chew on a pine cone, or are you eating a bug, or put the squirrel down. Squirrels don't belong in your mouth. Because that's how babies do. And then, of course, the littler kids would be listening to the elders tell the stories and eating more berries than they were actually picking, and they'd generally be sticky. That hasn't changed in thousands of years. Kids under the age of 5 are generally sticky. All of the older kids would be running around, skipping stones, climbing trees, playing games, just having a good time, learning about the world around them. So that's how kids learn best, is by play. All of the teenage girls weren't really picking as many berries as they should be because they'd be too busy talking about their crushes. Like, oh my gosh, did you see that guy's moccasins? He is so super cute. Yeah, that hasn't changed in thousands of years, has it?
Definitely hasn't. Except now they're putting it on TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it's on TikTok. But no matter what, and then of course the mums and the aunties would be the ones picking all of the berries for the nation for the year. Because like I said, in thousands of years, not a lot has changed. And so as everybody would get scattered to the 4 directions and it was time to come home, the grandmothers would call out. Well, they wouldn't say, yo, where you at? Because that would be ridiculous and totally not relevant to the era. But they would call out using a voice. And as soon as you heard that voice, you knew that was your grandmother calling you. So you would hear, and be like, oh, well, I know exactly whose grandmother that is. And so you'd call back, and be like, oh, well, that's me. So I'd be like, hey, I'm over here. Or you would hear, all right, and I'd be like, oh, well, there's Lyndon. Then I would hear, all right, there's my friend Yvonne. Then I would hear, all right, there's my cousin Stephanie. And so as you would hear these voices, you would know exactly where everybody was and that it was time to come home. But this was really important because in times of war, you would have a safe camp, but you wouldn't just walk in and be like, hey, is everybody okay? Because you didn't know, right? You didn't know if it was safe. You didn't know if your camp was compromised. And so you would wait. You would wait until silence fell and until darkness fell. And then you would call out. And then I would hear, awesome, I know Lyndon's safe. He's over there. And then I would hear, okay, that's cool. My cousin Stephanie's over there. My Auntie Georgie, she's over there. Awesome, I know she's safe. And I would hear, whoop, 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 whoop. There's my cousin Michelle, a little weird, but she's over there and she's safe, she's good. And so as you would hear these voices, you would know exactly where everybody was and that it was safe to come home. And now we don't use our voices like we used to. I mean, I do because I'm a crazy person. I use mine at Walmart. I use mine at the grocery store because it's the easiest way to find my kids. So if I've lost them and it's time to go, I'll call out, and then I'll hear, because, yeah, and I'll find Lyndon, usually in the electronics section, and then I'll hear, Mom, could you just not? You're embarrassing me. I'm like, okay, there's Cloud, usually also in the electronics section or the deli, and then usually they'll just be behind me looking mortified. So, we'll get there. But it's a great way to find each other. And occasionally I'll hear, hey, you were at my school, which is always fun. So, but at the end of the song, it gives us that opportunity to take a deep breath into our belly button, because that's where our spirit is. Our head can trick us, our heart can trick us, but our spirit never lies. And that's where our voice truly is. So just take a deep breath and let it out. And if it doesn't come out right away, you got to figure out where it's getting stuck. Where in your body is it getting stuck? Is it getting stuck here? in our head, because oftentimes we'll overthink things or worry too much what other people think of us, and it doesn't give us the opportunity to let out our voice truly. Is it getting stuck here in our mouth? Because sometimes we talk for the sake of talking, but we're only saying things that we think people want to hear, but it's not actually our truth. Is it getting stuck here in our throat? Because oftentimes we're not speaking out at all. We're not standing up for those things that we believe in, the people that we believe in, and ourselves. And it's important to let that out. Is it getting stuck here on our shoulders or on our back? So this is pressure like school or friends or family or work. All of that gets stuck up in our shoulders and our back, and it's the voices that we put on for other people, that those expectations that we take on for other people, they hold our voice down too. Is it getting stuck here in our heart? Because that's where our pain, our hurt, our sadness, that's where that goes, that trauma. And it's just realizing that, we deserve love. And it's finding that self-love to be able to elevate your voice and let it out of your heart. Is it getting stuck here in your tummy? This is where your self-doubt and your self-worth is. So every time you're like, oh, I suck, or I'm not good enough, or oh, I'm not worthy of that promotion, or nobody will ever like me. Anytime you say something bad to yourself, it holds your voice down. So just know that you're amazing. And if somebody's going to judge you for being incredible, you don't need them. So let out your voice and stop talking to yourself like that, because you're incredible. My favorite quote is, we're not afraid to fail. We're afraid to succeed beyond measure. So succeed beyond measure. Be amazing. Or is it getting stuck here in your belly button because you're simply not breathing deeply enough and connecting to your spirit? So no matter where it is in your body, find it and let it out. And you might need to take a couple deep breaths to be able to let it out fully and completely. And when you finally find it, it feels amazing, and you want to do it all the time. Sometimes you laugh hysterically because you can't believe that sound came out of you. And sometimes you cry because it's the first time you've actually heard your genuine self, and it brings up a lot of stuff with it. But no matter what, it feels incredible, and you just want to do it all the time, and you can be the crazy lady in Walmart just like me. It'll be great. So the words to the song, I'm going to teach you guys as well as them the song. So repeat after me. Weya heya,
Waya heya.
weya weya heya.
Waya. Wait, what is it again?
Weya heya,
Waya heya.
weya weya heya.
Waya waya heya.
Let's push that together. Weya heya, weya weya heya.
Waya heya. Waya waya waya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weya heya, weya weya heya.
Waya heya. Waya waya heya.
Weya heya, weya weya heya.
Waya heya. Waya waya heya.
Weya heya, weya weya heya.
Waya heya.
Weya weya heya. Weya heya, weya weya heya.
Waya heya. Waya waya heya.
Awesome. So we're going to sing that through 4 times. The 3rd time, though, we're going to get really quiet because that's the part where they're looking for their safe camp. And then the 4th time, we're going to get real loud because that's where they celebrate, because we found each other. And then we're going to let out our voices, and we're going to scare everybody in the neighborhood, and it's going to be amazing. All right. So the beat is nice and simple, nothing too crazy. comes out. Okay, let's try it again. You can do it. You'll find your voice. Eventually, you're gonna find it. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I got a lot of practice to do.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, those are my girls. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Cool. And I'm going to share a couple more songs. You guys can hang out if you want. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the healing song, which I'm going to share.
Yes.
Because I think it's really important to be able to share the healing song. It's also called the crying song or the wailing song. And with Indigenous, well, I always want to call it an Indigenous Awareness Day, but it's more than that. It's appreciation. It's about honoring who we are as Indigenous people and all that we've gone through, you know, all of the hardships that we've had to endure, but how we've come through it all. And we still have a sense of purpose and a sense of place and a sense of honoring, you know, for our family, for our ancestors. With this song, I wanted to pray for the history that's happened so far. So I want to pray for, you know, the children that were taken from our families in the residential school system. Some of the children who didn't make it home. A lot of those chapters of our families' lives have just been erased. All of those ancestors didn't have an opportunity, you know, past school to really survive and thrive and live. Here in Mohkinstsis, Morley had they had about almost 900 kids in the residential school. In 1 year, there was a wave of tuberculosis and the flu that went through, and 90% of those children never came home. And so those are hard truths that I think sometimes we need to face as a society and realize that we have so much healing to do together. Our families have healing to do, but our society has healing to do because we take responsibility for what's happened as a nation. This is why when we say all my relations, we're taking everyone in as our family. We're taking the plants in as our family. We're taking, you know, the animals in as our family and each other in as our family. So one in our family suffers, all of us suffer. And so this is why we say all my relations, because we're all connected. We are all family. We are all blood. We're all connected to Mother Earth. We have the same mother. We're all connected to Creator. He made us all. We breathe the same air. And so it reminds us of the sacredness that we all share together. When we sing this song, we also pray for the people who were taken with the 60s scoop and those survivors. There's so many incredibly powerful people that are looking for their family, that are looking for those records, that are looking for that connection, and that had lost a sense of identity with the 60s scoop. Those families who didn't have an opportunity to get to know each other, you know, brothers and sisters, and family members that were just ripped apart, and now they're slowly but surely starting to rediscover who they are, where they're from, who their ancestors are, and with that, they're discovering their sense of purpose and their sense of place, and their sense of belonging and unconditional love, which I think everyone really needs. And we also pray for the kids in the social system. There are kids that get lost in the foster care system, that lose themselves and lose their being and lose their very sense. Guys, I'm doing things. You can argue over games afterwards. Okay. Yeah. So, but I'm very thankful because I was able to break that cycle of abuse with my own children, because there's intergenerational trauma that gets passed down from line to line to line, to family to family to family. And so it's important that we break those cycles and recognize that they're not ours to carry. The abuse that was cycling in my family, that's not mine to carry. That was from the residential school. And once I recognized that, I was able to break that cycle of abuse with my own children. And it's so important that we pray for ourselves, you know, that healing that we need for ourselves, but that healing that we need for our families, the feeling that we need for all of our relations, and to be able to move forward together in a good way. It's not about blame. It's about taking responsibility and taking each other by the hand and healing and moving forward. And so when we share this song, it has so much power. It was a ceremonial song for the longest time. And many of our elders had said, no, it's time to share this song. It's time to honor the teachings of the healing song, because it has so much power to bring people together and to heal people. We've seen miracles happen with this song, but we're going through a time of transition. We're going through a time of prophecy, if you want to call it that. Many different nations saw this time as a time where we had a choice. We could come together or we could fall apart. And so this song allows us to come together to heal in a meaningful way. When we sing it, we have the heartbeat, the drum beat, because that's that heartbeat that connects each and every one of us. The first sound that we hear when we're inside our mother is her heartbeat. And when we come out into the world, it's that heartbeat, it's that pulse that's all around us. Mother Earth has a pulse. The moon has a pulse. She has a rhythm. Everything has a rhythm. And this is why the drum connects us. And this is why this is the best way to heal, is through song and story and sharing and tears. Don't be afraid to cry. And so this is the Cree healing song. And on the third round, we actually stop drumming. And in that silence, I invite you to hold those things in your heart, those people in your heart, those prayers in your heart, for healing of all of our nations, of our family, of our friends, of ourselves, and of those future generations, but also for those ancestors that didn't get to see this new world. So this is the healing song. So another song that I wanted to share, I've been thinking a lot about women's songs. So yesterday I was recording some women's songs for a ceremony at a church, which I think is really beautiful, that for the longest time there was such a separation between Indigenous teachings and church. But we're starting to see a lot of more similarities than we have differences. And it's really about honoring everybody's teachings, and it's not about right or wrong. It's about acceptance and about learning from each other so that we can build a more full way of experiencing and understanding the world around us. And so when we're invited into places that used to give us a lot of anxiety, I think it really shows that people are working together to repair those relationships and to rebuild, that sense of community and that sense of connection that we should have with each other. That was the whole point of the treaty, was about connecting and about learning and about growing and about sharing together. And so, this song is Anageya. It's the Women's Honor Song. And this is actually from Joan Henry. She's a Arapaho Cherokee. So she's from down in the States. And in it, you kind of have there's this pulse to it. There's this rhythm to it. And that's that pulse that everyone has within them. That's that rhythm that everybody has within them. And women tend to feel that rhythm a lot more with women's songs, with traditional songs. And it's the same way when we pick up a baby. We have this innate ability. If a baby's fussing, what do? We pick it up and we bounce it. We have that rhythm within us. We want that rhythm within that baby, that calming rhythm. And so this is why it's so healing to be able to dance. It's so healing to be able to share the drum and share our songs and share those stories, because there's that rhythm in there that helps us to heal, and it helps us to come together, and it helps us to honor each other in a good way. And so this is Anagea, the women's song. Or sorry, the women's honor song. Honoring song. Honor or honoring? Joan Henry. I'm not sure. So this is the women's honoring song. Anagea, weha, weha, So, it's such a great song. I really love that song. I believe I share this song quite often, but I think it's just so, it's so poignant, and it's so exceptional with the way it expresses all that we've gone through. This is the mother song, and when we share it, it honors all of those mothers who have, you know, lost their children, the mothers who do still have their children, and they're really hoping and praying that their children, you know, they have every opportunity, that they survive and succeed and have, you know, wonderful lives. As a mother, that's all you can really pray for, that your child has every opportunity as everyone else. And sometimes it's really hard for Indigenous families. It's because we've had so much that we've had to go through to be able to bring us to this moment. And there are some parents who have lost that ability to parent. They haven't had that base. They didn't learn how to parent because, you know, they were part of, you know, the residential schools. So you didn't learn how to share unconditional love. All you learned was hurt and sadness and shame and abuse. And so to break that cycle, it's monumental. And so this song honors all of those people who are struggling to break that cycle. It honors the people who have lost their children. It's honoring those people who are raising their children or raising other people's children. It honors those caregivers and that anguish that sometimes we have, you know, to protect our kids and to hope that they have all of that joy and all of that love and all of that compassion and that they're safe. When we have the 60s scoop, it honors those families that, you know, those children were ripped away from their families, but their ancestors and their families never gave up hope that they would find their way home again. So this is that mother calling out so that they come back home again. This is those families calling out to those children so they come back home again. It's sharing a sense of joy as well as a sense of anguish that every parent goes through. And so this is the mother song. And it's Anishinaabe, and I thank my friend Lacey for sharing this with me. She learned it from an elder, and we did a song exchange. But sometimes when songs stick with you, it's so that they can do good work through you. And so I honor this song, and I honor the teachings and that sharing that we did together. We also honor all of the parents that are struggling now with the foster and social care system to get their families back together, and to really, those children that need that sense of hope, that sense of belonging, that sense of acceptance, and that sense of unconditional love. So this is the mother song. Hey, today. So I wanted to share one more song. I remembered it. Oh, this is the farewell song. So it's funny because the last few weeks I've been trying to share it, but it wouldn't come to me. And yeah, it finally came to me, so I guess today is the day. This is a song to say farewell. It's not to say goodbye, because a lot of our languages actually don't have the word goodbye in them. But it's see you soon or see you later, or it's not a sense of termination, but a sense of continuation. And so this song is about keeping people safe on their journey, and knowing that we will see them again soon in this lifetime or the next. It's really about honoring everyone's journey that has brought us together and that will bring us together again. Awesome. And I think my elder who passed, Sharon Prue Turner, this is who I originally learned the song from. I miss her very much, and she's always in my thoughts, my prayers. Whenever I start to doubt myself, I just remember her words, and they resonate with me in my heart and in my spirit. And so I'm so thankful for the opportunity that I had to really, pray with her, go to ceremony with her, celebrate with her, learn from her, and just her wisdom was wonderful and brilliant, and she was a lovely Two-Spirit elder. And we need more really good Two-Spirit elders and knowledge keepers to share with our youth and with our communities, so that we have a sense of belonging again. And so this is the farewell song, and farewell to everyone on your journey this week. Happy solstice, happy National Indigenous Day on the 21st. Everyone, thank you for joining me for another week. I went a little over this week, but I think it was important. Yes, definitely, as you're out learning, growing, sharing, really remember that you're always in ceremony. If you take a breath and you appreciate everything around you, that's ceremony. And so if you have an opportunity, there's so many things going on online, which is amazing. So people who didn't really have an opportunity to attend in person are having all of these wonderful opportunities to learn from people online different things about Indigenous culture and ways of knowing and understanding. And it's such a gift to be in the time that we're in now, even though it's a little crazy. But again, Shimawich, everyone. Hi, thank you so much for joining me, and please feel free to share and watch it anytime you need to pick me up. I'm hoping to transition everything to the wonderful world of YouTube. We'll see how it goes. I'm really struggling there. I might have to just start a brand new YouTube channel, so we'll see. Lots of love, and happy Indigenous Day, everyone. Have a great week. Happy solstice. Hi, miigwech.